Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. The news that began to circulate behind the scenes has the kind of energy that instantly makes a YouTube sports channel explode. Because when whispers like these start moving through league circles, fans know something massive might be unfolding. According to sources close to the situation, the Pittsburgh Steelers are suddenly at the center of a rumor so bold that it almost sounds unreal at first listen. The idea that Terry McLaurin and Jordan Love could be wearing black and gold has stunned analysts, insiders, and rival fan bases alike, not because of official press conferences or polished statements, but because of the eerie silence from those who usually rush to deny stories like this. When names of this magnitude surface together, it suggests more than coincidence. It hints at a carefully coordinated plan, something that may have been brewing quietly while everyone else was distracted by surface-level narratives. The Steelers have always been known for calculated patience, for moving decisively only when the moment is right. That reputation adds fuel to this speculation, because it fits perfectly with a scenario where two stars are secured without noise, without leaks, and without dramatic build-up. What truly ignites this rumor is the alignment of needs, ambition, and opportunity. A franchise searching for a new offensive identity, a receiver craving stability and respect, and a quarterback eager to redefine his career arc all intersecting at the same time feels almost scripted. Fans are reading between the lines, noticing subtle social media movements, body language in interviews, and sudden shifts in tone from commentators who usually tread carefully. When respected voices start speaking in hypotheticals instead of dismissals, the rumor stops being entertainment and starts feeling like a warning shot. Something big may already be done, even if nobody is ready to say it out loud yet. As the speculation grows louder, the possible arrival of Terry McLaurin brings an entirely new dimension to the conversation, because his profile represents more than just talent. He symbolizes reliability, leadership, and professionalism in a league where wide receivers often dominate headlines for the wrong reasons. Insiders suggest that the Steelers' front office has long admired his ability to produce regardless of instability around him, which makes him an ideal cornerstone for a system in transition. The rumor paints a picture of private conversations, of mutual respect built quietly over time, and of a player who may finally be ready to step into an environment where his voice carries weight beyond the stat sheet. The idea of McLaurin in Pittsburgh is not just about routes and catches, but about culture. Coaches allegedly see him as a tone setter, someone younger players follow instinctively, someone who trains with purpose rather than flash. When rumors connect him to the Steelers, fans immediately imagine a locker room shift, a renewed seriousness, and an offense that suddenly feels trustworthy. What makes this story even more intriguing is the suggestion that McLaurin himself may have pushed for discretion, preferring action over spectacle. In a league obsessed with announcements, silence can be the loudest signal of all. Observers note that his recent demeanor suggests focus, not distraction, as if his future is already settled in his own mind. The absence of denial only deepens the mystery, because players of his stature usually shut down false stories quickly. Instead, the narrative keeps breathing, growing, and gaining credibility by the hour, feeding the belief that something extraordinary is being kept under wraps until the timing is perfect. While McLaurin's name alone would be enough to dominate headlines, the addition of Jordan Love to this speculative equation transforms the rumor into something seismic. Quarterbacks define eras, and the mere suggestion that the Steelers have secured a signal caller with his upside has sent shockwaves through fan communities. The narrative forming behind closed doors speaks of a player hungry for autonomy, eager to prove that his ceiling has not yet been reached, and motivated by the chance to lead rather than wait. Sources close to the situation describe a mutual fascination, with the Steelers intrigued by Love's composure and raw ability, and Love drawn to a franchise that values patience and development. This is not framed as a desperate move, but as a strategic alignment, one where timing and opportunity finally meet. The speculation suggests that Pittsburgh views Love as a long-term investment, not a temporary solution, which explains the secrecy. Quarterback acquisitions of this magnitude are rarely rushed into the spotlight. They are protected, nurtured, and unveiled only when the organization controls the narrative. Fans are already imagining how Love's skill set could evolve under this system, how a fresh environment could unlock consistency and confidence. Analysts whisper about private evaluations, internal meetings, and quiet approvals from influential voices within the organization. The rumor feels deliberate, not chaotic, and that distinction matters. It implies intent rather than reaction. When two stars appear in the same speculative breath, it suggests coordination, as if pieces are being moved simultaneously rather than randomly. That alone is enough to make even skeptical observers pause and reconsider what might already be finalized. The possibility of both players arriving together feeds into a broader story about transformation, because franchises rarely take half measures when redefining their future. This rumor paints the Steelers as an organization ready to reset expectations, to move beyond cautious rebuilding and into bold assertion. The pairing of a proven wide receiver and an ascending quarterback suggests a vision rather than a gamble. It hints at an offense designed around timing, trust, and shared growth. Fans dissect every angle, wondering if internal conversations have already mapped out how these two would complement each other on the field and in the locker room. The speculation grows stronger when considering how rarely rumors of this scale emerge without some grounding in truth. League veterans often say that smoke without fire does not linger this long. The longer the silence persists, the more it feels like confirmation by omission. Content creators, commentators, and former players are choosing their words carefully, acknowledging the rumor without dismissing it outright. That subtle shift in tone speaks volumes. The Steelers have historically thrived in moments where expectations are controlled and pressure is managed internally. This potential move fits that pattern. It suggests a calculated reveal, one that will land with maximum impact once officially acknowledged. Until then, the story lives in this space of anticipation, where fans oscillate between disbelief and excitement, refreshing feeds and replaying analysis videos, convinced that they are witnessing the quiet birth of a new chapter. Another layer of intrigue comes from how this rumor affects the rest of the league, because moves of this scale never exist in isolation. Rival teams are reportedly paying close attention, recalculating future strategies, and quietly acknowledging that the balance of power could shift if this speculation becomes reality. The Steelers, long respected for their stability, would suddenly re-enter conversations about long-term dominance rather than short-term competitiveness. That possibility alone explains why this story refuses to fade. Insiders hint that agents, executives, and players around the league are treating this as more than internet noise. The tone behind the scenes is cautious, measured, and attentive. Nobody wants to be caught unprepared if this announcement drops. Fans sense that tension, that collective holding of breath, and it amplifies the emotional weight of the rumor. This is not just about adding talent, but about signaling intent. A franchise making a statement that it is ready to compete at the highest level again. The absence of flashy leaks or conflicting reports suggests unity, as if everyone involved understands the importance of timing. That discipline itself feels like a tell. In a league where secrets rarely survive, the fact that this one remains intact makes it feel almost inevitable. The longer it stays alive, the more believable it becomes, feeding a cycle of anticipation that grows stronger with every passing hour. As this first wave of speculation settles, the overarching feeling is not chaos but expectation. Fans are not panicking or arguing, they are waiting. Waiting for confirmation, waiting for visuals, waiting for the moment when rumor becomes reality. The names involved carry too much weight to be dismissed casually, and the franchise tied to them has too much credibility to be accused of recklessness. Everything about this story feels deliberate, from the way it surfaced to the way it continues to breathe without interference. Whether whispered in studio corners or debated passionately online, the narrative remains the same. Something significant may already be in motion, hidden behind closed doors, protected by silence. And in the world of sports, silence is often the final step before the loudest announcement of all. As the conversation moves deeper into analysis, the second wave of speculation focuses less on whether this could happen and more on why it makes sense right now. Observers are connecting dots that previously seemed unrelated, suggesting that timing is everything in this situation. The Steelers have been quietly positioning themselves for a moment like this, managing resources, evaluating leadership, and setting the stage for a controlled shift in identity. The rumored arrival of Jordan Love and Terry McLaurin fits into that broader arc, one where patience finally gives way to decisive action. Fans who follow organizational patterns notice that this franchise rarely reacts emotionally. When it moves, it does so with conviction. That is why this rumor feels different. It does not carry the frantic energy of desperation, but the calm confidence of preparation. The idea that both players could be secured together implies alignment at every level, from ownership to coaching staff. That kind of harmony is rare, and when it exists, it often precedes bold moves. Commentators speculate that internal evaluations may have concluded that the window for subtle rebuilding has closed and that the time for a clear statement has arrived. If true, this rumor represents not just a roster change, but a philosophical one. It suggests a belief that the right leaders are already identified and that now is the moment to empower them. Jordan Love's role in this speculative future continues to dominate discussion because quarterback narratives shape perception more than any other position. The idea of him stepping into a new environment, free from previous expectations, resonates strongly with fans who believe context matters as much as talent. The rumor frames Love as a player who has learned patience, absorbed lessons, and is now ready to assert himself fully. Pittsburgh, with its emphasis on structure and accountability, appears as an ideal landing spot in this narrative. Analysts imagine how his calm demeanor could stabilize the offense, how his growth could accelerate with trust and continuity. The secrecy surrounding his alleged move only reinforces the belief that this is a long-term commitment rather than a trial. Fans sense that this is not about proving anyone wrong in the short term, but about building something sustainable. Love's potential partnership with McLaurin becomes the emotional centerpiece of the rumor, symbolizing balance between leadership and explosiveness. The thought of their chemistry developing under controlled expectations excites those who value growth over hype. This story thrives because it aligns with a hopeful vision of development done right, rather than rushed experiments that burn out quickly. Terry McLaurin's rumored presence adds emotional gravity to the speculation because his career has been defined by perseverance. Fans see him as a player who has given everything regardless of circumstance, and the idea of him finally stepping into a stable, ambitious environment feels earned. The narrative suggests that Pittsburgh offers more than a new uniform, offering respect, clarity, and a chance to compete within a clear structure. That emotional undertone is powerful because sports stories resonate most when they feel just. Insiders whisper that McLaurin values trust above all else, and that the Steelers have quietly demonstrated that quality over time. The rumor portrays his decision not as a chase for attention, but as a step toward fulfillment. Fans respond strongly to that framing because it contrasts sharply with the louder narratives often associated with star movement. This story feels grounded, almost mature. The absence of theatrics makes it more believable. People imagine McLaurin mentoring younger players, setting standards, and redefining what consistency looks like in the locker room. His rumored arrival is seen not just as a boost to the offense, but as a stabilizing force for the entire team culture. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The ripple effects of this potential duo continue to dominate speculative discussions as fans and analysts imagine how defensive coordinators might respond, how game plans might evolve, and how leadership dynamics could shift. The Steelers, already respected, would suddenly command a different kind of attention. Opponents would prepare differently, media narratives would adjust, and internal confidence would likely surge. This rumor carries weight because it suggests momentum, and momentum is contagious. The idea that a franchise can quietly attract both a reliable star receiver and a quarterback with untapped potential speaks to credibility. That credibility cannot be manufactured overnight. It is built over years of consistency, discipline, and trust. That is why many believe this story, even without confirmation. It feels like a natural extension of who the Steelers are, rather than a departure from their identity. The speculation thrives in that familiarity, allowing fans to imagine the future without feeling like it contradicts the past. As anticipation builds, the silence from official channels becomes almost theatrical. Fans analyze every pause, every non-answer, every carefully worded response. In the absence of denial, imagination fills the gap. Content creators amplify the conversation, not with certainty, but with curiosity. That curiosity keeps the rumor alive, evolving with each interpretation. The Steelers organization, known for controlling its narrative, appears unbothered by the noise, which only strengthens belief. If this were entirely unfounded, many expect it would have been shut down already. Instead, it lingers, growing more detailed, more cohesive. The story now feels less like speculation and more like preparation for an inevitable reveal. Fans brace themselves for that moment, knowing that when it comes, it will reshape expectations instantly. In the end, what makes this rumor so compelling is not just the names involved, but the story it tells about timing, trust, and transformation. Whether whispered in confidence or debated passionately online, it captures imagination because it feels possible. It aligns ambition with patience, talent with structure, and secrecy with confidence. Until confirmation arrives, it lives in this charged space of anticipation, where every silence feels intentional and every hint feels amplified. For now, fans wait, watch, and wonder, convinced that something extraordinary may already be signed, sealed, and simply waiting for the right moment to be revealed to the world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.